Today I'm going to create a painting of a pig for you using interactive acrylic, and I'm going to do this in around about 10 minutes, or at least I'm going to try. We'll see how far we go. So I'm starting out by spraying an A2 sheet of mixed media paper with water, and then I've got my interactive acrylics here, so I'm going to grab some burnt umber and some ultramarine blue and mix those two together to give me a fairly dark bluish brown, and maybe add a little bit more of the blue there. And I'm not mixing them overly thoroughly, but we'll see what we can create by using this flat 1/2 inch brush to block in the silhouette of this pig. Now, as I do this, I'm keeping my brush strokes following the contours of the animal. So I'm trying to balance accurate observation with going fairly quickly to try and meet the 10-minute self-imposed deadline. As I say, we'll see how this works out. It might not work, but that's kind of the fun of the 10-minute experiment. Now, I'm fairly fortunate with my reference photo because the feet are pretty much buried in straw. So we've got a belly that comes down there. I perhaps went a little low with that, but so spraying the surface of the paper with water, especially with the interactive acrylics, it means they flow across the surface of the painting really well compared to on dry paper. Now there's kind of a little bit of a lump in the silhouette there as we come up to the neck, and then 4 legs. The top of the front leg is pretty much directly below that little lump in the back there. And then this guy's got some sort of white colouring on his leg, so we'll leave that bit of paper exposed. Then the other foreleg is showing through there. And then in front of this part of the leg, there's just a little bit of white showing through. And we've got kind of the underside of the jaw. I think I can block in. Now, the paper's beginning to dry out a little bit, but because these are the interactive acrylics, it means that if I need to do further blending, even after the paint is touch dry, I can spray the surface of the painting with water and I'll be able to do that. So that's different to conventional acrylic, where once they're dry, they're dry. Now, as I was chatting away there, I left a bit of uncoated area there for the inside of the ear, and then the other ear. It's a bit difficult to tell in this reference, but that's peeking out there. I've actually moved it. I think it's pretty much more or less in line with the front ear, but just a bit of artistic license there. I moved the ear to a slightly different location, and things are quite dark there, so put the paint on a little bit thicker. It's the beginning of the nose. Even a little bit of a gap between that outline and the dark I'm applying now to allow for the white colouring on the nose. It also kind of comes down there a bit. Okay, so we've got the beginnings of our piggy. So what I'm going to do now is just take a quick look and see where I can perhaps add